Hey guys, welcome to the Skolo Online YouTube channel, the channel that is all about learning. Okay, so this week we're gonna close off our tutorial that we've been doing on the WhatsApp application. I think this is the fifth video in the series, so if you've been following along, this is gonna be the last video. It's gonna be a bit long, but I wanted to really get through everything in one video so that we can end off for the year and start a new project brand new next year. So if you're new to this channel, please remember to like this video that you're watching right now. Please leave us a comment if there's anything you don't understand, and also remember to turn on your notifications so that you will be notified every time that we publish a new video on the channel. And if you go to the bottom of the video, you will see the description box. So if I say I'm going to link something in the description, a lot of the links that I work through, I will link in the description there. You will find it there, all right? And you'll find also timestamps, because the videos are long. I try as much as possible to make meaningful timestamps so that you can like fast forward to parts of the video that you want to watch. Even if you come back in future, you can use the timestamps to navigate. You actually don't have to watch the entire video because it's long. I spend a lot of time explaining, so do use the timestamps to navigate through the videos. And of course, our social media links, everything is in the description as well. My email address if you want to get in touch with me, but do not send me snippets of code that's not working. That's why we've got the videos for you to follow along step by step. I promise I cover each and every step in the video, and if you've missed something, just watch the video again. All right, now we're gonna continue where we left off, and this is amazing. I actually re-recorded this intro because I wanted to get to the end so that I can show you the application, the finished application. Remember, we are building a WhatsApp application. This WhatsApp application is gonna generate a business plan document for a client, okay? And they're gonna just enter simple things. And let me just actually show you. It's probably better that I show you. Okay, we've got a WhatsApp number. It's a temporary WhatsApp number, and what the client would do is just to send us a WhatsApp, like, hi there. Okay, they send a WhatsApp to this number. This number sort of like checks the person, creates the profile, and it's like, okay, cool. Welcome to our AI business plan creator. We are gonna take you through the process of building your business plan. Are you ready? Let's get started. What's the name of your business? Let's enter a new name that we haven't been using in the test. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna enter Tepang Construction. Services. Construction. Let's just call it Tepang Construction. That is the name of the business. It's going to answer. Please type the end of the type of business. And by the way, you could enter many different types. I've just selected 3, but you'll see the way the code is structured. You could depending on your country, you could help them with a drop-down menu. This is like a drop-down menu in WhatsApp fashion. So here you just have to enter a number, and it's very clear. Please enter the number, okay? And if you enter a number that's not here, like let's say you enter a 7, it's going to say, oh no, please enter that number again, because you need to enter a number between 1 and 3, okay? So I'm gonna enter 1 for a Pty Ltd, okay? Cool. Which country are you from? I am from South Africa. It just helps to make the business plan richer, but you'll see some of these you could actually get rid of. You don't need. What product services will you be providing? We are a construction company. All right. That is the service that we do. Describe the business idea in 1 or 2 sentences. And from that business idea in 1 or 2 sentences, we're going to build a whole business plan for this person, including the whole marketing strategies, everything that's required that goes into a business plan. This is an amazing project. I'm so excited. All right. So my business plan is, what is my business in 1 or 2 sentences? Tepang Construction is an urban business that provides the following services within the construction industry. Okay, the services I provide is I'm gonna say what do we do in construction? Feasibility studies, engineering, I don't know, detailed engineering. Property development. Quantity surveying. You know, and construction of, you know, medium sized corporate buildings. If you are really running a real business, you would know exactly what to say here. So I'm just sort of like typing whatever comes to my mind. So I don't know. Let's hope it will make sense. Okay. How many years have you been in business? I've been in business for 5 years. How much traction have you made? That's the next question. You know, we have at least 10 paying clients. Okay. That is a traction that we have, and then it's going to say, okay, cool, we have everything that we need. So this is all that the client had to ask, and all of this on WhatsApp, by the way. This is not even a website. This is a WhatsApp. I'm collecting this information via WhatsApp. Right now, I am going into, I need to continue. Before it goes, and then it will say, okay, cool, our AI is working on it, give us a moment, we will message you when your business plan is ready. So right now I've collected all this information directly just on WhatsApp. It's a WhatsApp application, right? You later on you can get your own WhatsApp number and register a business, and somebody, and you could have this chatbot running on your WhatsApp business number, and people, whenever they want a business plan, they just send you a message and your WhatsApp runs in the background and it's doing it. So I'm wasting a bit of time because it takes time for the WhatsApp to actually generate the business plan. So what it's doing is that it's collecting all of this information that I've entered. It's collecting the business name. It's collecting what the business type, everything that that's important. It's taking in the type of service, and most importantly, this little small description of how I've described how the business works, how long somebody has been in business. All of this is all I needed, and it's taking all of that and it's putting it in the OpenAI AI machine, and then it's gonna send me the link. It takes about 2 minutes or so. So I'm going to just like pause a little bit and wait for the business plan. There it is. All right. So from 12:51 to 12:52, it takes about 1.5 minutes. But my business plan is ready, and it just sends you a link where you can just go download the business plan for this information that you've just entered. So I'm just going to click this link, and there it is, my business plan in PDF. I mean, I'm not kidding you. This is the AI generated this content. So Teppan Construction, this is the company I just entered now. Teppan Construction is a South African-based urban construction business established 2015. Market analysis, SWOT analysis, product details, everything is in here. This is like a 5-6 page business plan with a marketing strategy and everything. Increase market share, revenue, profitability, value proposition. The business, is a construction company, wide range of service in construction industry. This is like thought through, like imagine you're lazy to put together a business plan. You could start a business plan business and just come to my API and just like generate this in like 5 minutes and charge people like $1,000. Do you know how much they charge people for business plans these days? So yeah, so this is what we're gonna build. So we've already done 4 videos in this series. We're gonna continue where we left off last week. So let's go. First order of business is we created a Facebook developers application, right? And we called it Business Plan. And after we did that, you go into the WhatsApp tools or the WhatsApp API, because there's many other sort of APIs available within the Facebook developers. Everything from Instagram to Messenger to Facebook marketing and all of those things, but we are interested in the WhatsApp one. All right, so you're going to look for it, and there's a video that covers exactly how we do all of that, so I'm not going to do that again, because just follow the steps in the video. But what I want to draw your attention to is we are currently using a temporary number which is provided to us by Facebook. Okay, you are going to need to upgrade from this temporary number to a permanent number, and I'll show you how to do that at the end. But I don't know, I see if we have time. But if we don't have time, it's very, very easy how to do that. All you need to do, you just buy a SIM card. You buy like your own data SIM card, and you come over here, and it must be a SIM card you're not using for anything else. It must be brand new SIM card that you're not using for anything else, and preferably a data SIM card. And then you'll just come over here and you'll enter. There's a part, there's a link. I'll show you. I'll try to show you in the end. Please remind me if I forget. But you can just quickly like move over from the temporary one to the permanent one. I think you will need to have a credit card in there because they do have some charges at the end, but it's not a lot of charges. If you figured out what you figured out so far, you will be able to do that. The only difference between the temporary and the permanent one is that once you enter your permanent number, you will get an access token which will be permanent, because currently with this temporary number, this access token expires every 24 hours, which means if you've been using that temporary pin with us, the first step of business, what you need to do right now is go back to your Facebook, copy the latest access token, and go back to your code. If you remember, we have it inside of the settings.py. All right, open that settings.py and paste your code in there, because the code you had the last time is going to have expired already. So when you run this thing, it's not going to work because the code has expired. So just remember to do that. You need to do that daily until you actually enter a permanent number, right? I'm just going to try and figure out where the permanent number is over here, because I think they do show you in the documentation. But it's very, very simple. I did it the first time and you're able to just enter permanent number. There is also an extra step that you need to take, all right, in order to go from a permanent number to a verified permanent number. All right, you don't have to verify your business to have a permanent number. But if you want a verified permanent number where you get that blue tick next to your business name, there's an extra step you need to take where you need to provide your business information, and then Facebook verifies your business. I went through that process and I gave them all of my information, and they still declined my business, and they didn't give me any reasons. So I don't know how that process works. You're welcome to try it, because I gave them all of my documentation and then they just declined my business. They wouldn't verify it, provided the document that I gave them. So I don't know how that works, but what I did discover is that you actually don't have to verify your business to use the API and the permanent token, because I still have the permanent token on another application without a verified business. All right, but it just doesn't have the blue tick, but it still works and does everything fine. So it's up to you. You can decide how to do that. All right, and then the one last thing, if you missed it from last week's video, please take your application live. All right, because there's a new update that has been done since I started. All right, before you could do everything with the test app before without taking it live. All right, but I think last week we had an error with it. The webhook wasn't coming through, and then I think if you went through the troubleshooting with me, you have to take your application live. All right, it's just simple. All you do is press that live thing at the top. They're going to ask you to put in a privacy policy and all of that, which is why we actually have a front end for our application, and you can put your privacy policy there. So if you see our application is actually live, okay, I'm going to like open it on a different window over there. There's nothing on the front page. You just put in, Skolo Online Learning, because it's a WhatsApp application. But you could put, this could be your landing page if you want, and maybe we'll design one later. This could be your landing page where you could just have a link to your privacy policy and your terms and conditions, and then just tell people, okay, get started, please WhatsApp this number, and then we're gonna get going. But currently, this is all I have here, but you will need to have a privacy policy. I used a privacy policy from a different app, which still worked, all right? And then you can take your application live. There's no other verifications required to take your application live if you're working with the WhatsApp API. The only verification is when you want to get that blue tick next to your business name, okay? So that's all I'm going to say about WhatsApp. Get your latest token or get a permanent number, and then we can continue. All right, so last week where we left off, we were building the chatbot. Right, I'm gonna re-summarize what we've done because it's been quite a while, and I also need to remind myself what we've done with this code. All right, there are two steps. First of all, we need to collect information from the user. All right, we need the user to tell us about their business information, the little information that we need to collect, so that we can feed into the API, into the OpenAI API to get back the AI generated content. If you remember, we were trying to build an application where a user enters as little information as possible, but somehow we have to gather that information, all right? So we're gathering that information using WhatsApp. We are asking the user specific WhatsApp questions. I'm just going to clear this for now. if this is possible. I want to clear messages because I was testing this earlier on. All right. And then I want to just start from scratch so I can show you exactly what we've done, in the meantime. So we collect information from the users. They tell us, their business name, what their business does. It's very, general questions that anybody can answer. And then we take all of that information. We've got our AI file, all right, and we've already built the prompts, all right, and then we enter that information into the AI and let the AI generate content for us, all right. So over here it will generate the company description. Over here it will generate the company description. Again, here is without the second thing. Market analysis, it will generate the SWOT analysis, it will generate the product detail, it will generate quite a bit of stuff that we've decided we want to put in. And this is where I said you could use this for any other application. Maybe you're building a blog, right? You could just say, what is your blog about? Give me some titles of some blogs, and then you could use those questions on the AI. And then once you've done that, you come and you enter it in here and it generates you the blog content or whatever. It's up to you how you want to do this. But I've decided to use a use case of building a business plan. All right. So once we've done that, we get that information, we put it in the AI, it'll give us responses. And then we'll take those responses and then we'll put them inside of the database. And then after that, we will then generate like a document and we'll put the stuff from the database into the document. All right. But where we are right now is the WhatsApp, all right? So let's go through this again and what we've done. So if you looked at the function, I just wanted to, if you were using my code from last week, this line that says return at the end of the send WhatsApp message, just delete it, okay? We're going to remove that return from there. And then we're going to put it, the changes that I made was that because last week, if you were following along, we wanted it to stop after every action. It's like after every time it sends a WhatsApp message, we want it not to continue with the function. We want it to return from the function so that we can go to the next step. All right. So the way this function is built, it's actually my own invention. I'm just going to try and take you through it again. All right. So you can understand the theory behind it. What we're trying to build here is a chat functionality. All right. We want to be able to collect information from the user step by step. We also want to be able to remember what we've collected already so that we don't ask the same question again. So we have built what I call for me an enabler model or a sort of an intent model, right? So when the user starts to chat with our WhatsApp, all right, we are going to save every response that they give us inside of the model, because that's the only way we can keep track of what answers we already have and what question we need to ask next. So the way this thing is built is the first time when someone sends a message, you'll see inside of the views, this is where the webhook is, all right? The webhook is where somebody sends a message to WhatsApp, to your WhatsApp number. You've got that webhook. It just hooks the message and sends it to your server. We've already set this webhook up and we can get exactly what the person said in the message, and then we can sort of figure out who the person is. When WhatsApp sends you that webhook, there's a lot of identifying information that comes with the webhook, which helps us identify who sent us the message. This will work so that even if there's multiple people sending me messages at the same time, I know who sent me one message, and inside of my database, I can keep track of each and every single conversation. So what's happening here is that when we get that WhatsApp webhook, we have to know the phone ID, we have to know the profile name, and then we put it into this function that we call handle a WhatsApp chat, okay? This function we've built over here, and it takes the from ID, which is the most important thing. Who's the person sending the message, the profile name, and all of those other things, all right? And the text, obviously, is what exactly the person said in the message, all right? Then what we do is that we come over here, we say, okay, cool. We're going to try and fetch a chat session with that phone number. Okay, what is a chat session? It's that enabler model, it's that middle model that's going to allow me to complete this chat conversation. That's why I call it a session. All right, it's a session where I'm chatting with this person and I am going to be collecting everything that they give me and saving it into the database. Okay, so for this chat session, the identifier or the main sort of primary element that I use to identify each chat session is going to be the phone number where the person is sending that from, and that from ID comes with the WhatsApp message. All right, and that's how I save the chat session inside of the database. So I've got this function that tries to get a chat session if it exists. All right, so this will throw an error if the chat session doesn't exist. So in Django, if you use a get to query the database, and that specific, either there's multiple versions of it, or of that record, or that record doesn't exist, it will throw an error. Okay, so if this throws an error, I know immediately that the chat session does not exist. So what I will do then, I will check if a user exists, because we then also have the session where we also have the way we've structured our database is we also have users, and then those users are the ones that have profiles, and then under that profile is where we'll have the chat session. All right, there's a reason why it's all tiered like that, is because a user in Django has got the authentication and everything that goes with creating a user. So that's the best way to sort of like develop sort of like profiles for our application. But we need a little bit more information than the user. That's why I created a profile, because then I can map many other variables to a profile. Okay, but then I also want to map like the data, the chat, the conversations that I'm having with this person. But I also wanna, when I'm building the whatever properties for that person, I want to be able to identify them even when I start billing and all of those things. Okay, we're gonna add all of those later. We're gonna need a profile for that. Okay, that is why we first of all create a user for that thing, and then we actually use the phone ID as the username, because in some cases, if it was a web application, I would have used an email address as a user ID. So it depends. For me, I know the phone ID will always be unique. WhatsApp sorts that out for me. All right, there are no two different WhatsApp users that have the same phone number. Okay, so I'm going to make the phone ID for me the primary element for identifying my users. Okay, and then after I've done that, I'm gonna then create a user profile. You'll see here that it says user profile is user.profile. It doesn't even, like, you don't even see where we're creating the profile. This is because we've actually created the profile already using our oh no, we already would have created the profile over here. We're not using signals. Okay, we would actually, it would be a good idea to use signals, but in this specific case, I know this is the only place where I'm going to be creating a user, so I'm going to just manually create the profile as well. But probably using signals is also better practice, but I'm not going to worry about that today. Okay, so we'll know that once we have a user, we also have a profile, and a profile is a one-to-one relationship with the user. So that's why we can just say user profile is user.profile, and we can also, it works also in reverse. So over here, the user exists. We check if the user exists, and we know if they exist, their profile is user.profile. Okay, so this is simple. Over here, if the user did not exist, this is where we create the user using the phone ID. All right, for now, I'm giving all the users an email address, tester1.skoko.tech. This is not going to work the next time because the email address is going to be different. Because Django requires a unique email address. Actually, I completely missed this. I will not be able to use the same email address. I just need to double check this. Okay, I'll try and create a different user and check this, because I can't remember, I can't recall. I know the username has to be unique, but I can't recall if the email address has to be unique. But it would be good practice to make it unique. All right, and I don't know if you can create a user without an email address. Otherwise, what would be ideal is, I'm actually gonna try and see if I can create a user without an email address. But for now, this will work. But okay, this code is going to be problematic in future. All right, so the solution for this is either get a random generator for an email address. All right, and then just put in like a random, because at this point it doesn't really matter because we don't use the email address for anything. Otherwise, if Django allows you to actually create a user without an email address, it's just to not actually include it at all. Right, that is probably the best option. But if it's required, you could just we could put any email address, the way we are putting any password, doesn't really matter. The whole point here is that you create a user profile. That's the most important thing, and that you have a unique identifier in that user profile that you can use to call the user. And that unique identifier for us is going to be the phone ID, which we're putting in under the username. All right, that's the most important thing. Then after that, we then create the user profile, and then that's simple with the user profile, and then after that we create the chat session. The chat session has to have an identifier. It has to have a sort of user profile as a related field into it. That's how we're gonna fetch it the first time. If you looked over there, we check we fetch the chat session based on the profile phone number, right? And so when we build it, when we create it, we have to put in that profile to be that user profile, which has that phone number, which is that phone ID. Okay, so far that makes sense. So this function, the way it works is every time we say handle WhatsApp chat, we run through this function every time. And every time, the first time we run through it, the chat will not be there, and then it will create the chat. The next time we run through it, the chat will be there, it will just fetch it, and then we'll continue with the same chat. You understand? So it's like a function that's built to be resilient over multiple, iterations or users as we work on adding more and more data to the same chat instance, if that makes sense, right? So that chat instance has different variables, and these are all the questions we need to ask. The business name, the business type, the country, the product service, the description, the number of years, the progress, and all of that, right? These are all the questions that fit into these are all the variables that go into the chat session, which are in line with the questions that we need to ask the user. So the first time we go through this, we check if chat.business name. So what this will do is that it will check if that chat instance has a business name sort of like saved in that instance. If you look at our model, these variables are all nullable. Okay, so if the business name is null and it's not there, this if will fail. So this if will be like, it will be false. And then if it's not there, then what it will do, it will then assume that whatever text was entered into the thing is the business name. That will be true because the first time we go through this, as soon as we save the chat session, we tell the person, welcome to the AI business plan. I'm going to take you through the process of creating a business plan right here on WhatsApp. To get started, enter your business name, right? So we assume that whatever they enter will be the business name, right? And that is what the text that we'll save now under business name. Because what will happen is the problem that we had last week was that as soon as this finished running, the function continued. So I added this return and I just returned like an empty string. It doesn't really matter. The point of this return is I want to exit this function at this stage, right? I want to return out of the function. I want to sort of like, as soon as I send a WhatsApp message, I want to exit out of the function. So this is the problem we had last week. If you were with us last week and you saw the function just kept continuing, that was a problem. What you need to do is that after you send every WhatsApp message, just add a return underneath it. What it does is that it sort of like, it stops the function from continuing further. It just like exits that function. So after we send this WhatsApp message, you want to exit that function. What the person will do is that they will see this message, and then the function actually is not running anymore on our side, and then they'll decide if they want to continue. At this point, we've already saved a profile and everything under their name, so hopefully they will enter their business name. So once they've entered their business name, we will go through this function again, because now after they enter, it goes into the, it goes back into the webhook and everything, and then it calls the same function again. But when we go through it this time, we will not create a user profile again, because now it's created. Now when we say chat profile number from ID, it will find the chat. And after it finds the chat, it will not send this message again. Instead, it will check chat.business name if it exists. In this case, it will exist because we've just saved it the last loop. You understand? So the next time around, chat.business name will actually exist. So then it will check if chat.business type exists. Now, the first time we go through this, chat.business type will not exist because we will not have entered it yet. It will be none still. So because it will not exist, then it will say else, and then it will go through here, right? What it will do is that it will try and see whatever was entered in there and try and save the business type. Now, this is where we have like the multiple select, like the drop down menu, because I want you to select between 3 different business types. Okay, you could enter as many as you like, but I want to show you how to do the drop down with these messengers, with this chat way. So, I ask the person, So the first time it exists, the first time this business type doesn't exist, we assume whatever they've entered is a business type. All right. And the business type, I asked them to enter a number. So because I asked them to enter a number, the best way to check that the number was entered correctly is to try and sort of like whatever the text that was entered, to try and get the integer of that text. So if someone entered like hello, this function will throw an error. So we'll go out of this try and we'll go into the exception. And when we go into the exception, then we'll say, okay, cool, please try again, enter a number only. Either you enter 1 or 2 or 3, just the number. So we are telling them again to enter just the number. If they do enter it properly, when we come back to this function, all right, this try will go through, and then we'll check the number. Is it 1, 2, or 3? If it's 1, we'll know, okay, chat.business type is Pty Ltd. If they enter 2, we'll know it's a non-profit. Non-profit. This should actually be non-profit, not profit. It should be non-profit, but it should match what's on the model. So if I go into the models and look at chat, oh, I did say not profit. That's weird. But it should match what's on the model. So the model said not profit. Otherwise, it will throw an error when you try to save this. All right. So not profit, or the next one is partnership or whatever. You can enter as many types as you like. If it's none of these three, if it's not 1, 2, or 3, it will again say, please try again later. But if all of these went through, it will then ask the next question. Which country are you from? So the next time we go through, all right, we are now going into the chat question. So this is like, it's a step-by-step, asking all the different questions and running the same function again and figuring out. This is like a very I don't know, it's you have to like sort of think in layers like an onion, okay? And you'll get used to it, all right? So I think what I will do is I will provide this gist. I know I promised last week, but maybe I was waiting for everything to be perfect, because if I provided the gist last week, it had errors on it, which I just fixed now. We now have to have the return. So maybe when the application is completed, right, I will not provide like all the files, but I'll provide the gist, at least of the chatbot, so that you can double check what I did with what you are trying to do step by step. But basically, this is the principle behind the chat functionality. And what we'll do is that we will get all of these variables step by step. The way I've explained the business name, country, you just sort of ask the next question and the next question and the next question. And then finally, after all the questions have been asked, you will end up here. Our AI is working on it. Give us a moment. And over here, we will have that send WhatsApp message and we'll return. Okay. Now at this stage, this is where we want to, for example, then enter all of this into the AI. But before I do that, I just want to demonstrate to you this. All right. I'm going to save all of that. All right. And then I'm going to, this is the number, all right, that I need to send a message to. For you to activate this functionality, you have to send the message first, all right, so that you can activate the AI. So I want to go back in here. So this is my database. Let me just close my YouTube. So this is my database. I've just deleted the last chat session. I just want to go into the profiles. There is a profile object here. I'm going to delete the profile as well, so that we can start everything from scratch. Oh no, I should not delete this. No, take me back. I should actually delete the user. Okay, I should delete this user, right? Because so that it deletes the user and the profile. If I delete the profile, I'll get an error. So it will delete the user and the profile because there's a one-on-one relationship, and the user is the one we created first. If I delete the profile first, I will have some problems. So I've deleted the user completely, and I must just make sure that this is just my admin user. And then there's no profile in the database. You can see there's no chat session in the database. There's no business plan in the database. Everything is blank. Okay. So I'm going to start with the profiles. All right. And then, so after I've deleted all of that, then I will go into my WhatsApp, and then I'll start. Let me just try and put this up here so you can see what we're typing. Okay. I hope you can see clearly. All right. You can say anything the first time. Doesn't matter what you say. You can say, I don't know. Who is the GOAT? Who is the world? Who is the soccer GOAT? Doesn't matter what you say. It's just initiating the conversation. All right. So after you do that, it's gonna go, welcome to the AI business plan creator. I'm going to take you through, this is this first message here. All right, which means it went through all of this. So at this stage, I should have a user and I should have a profile. All right, so let's go back and double check. If you go to our users, there's the user, honeybee, with this tester one. This is that email address that I entered there. All right, and then I should have also a profile. All right, this is a profile. Okay, I've deleted this before, so that's why it says 3 there. But you can see on this profile, this is the phone number, this is the phone ID, and everything that's in the profile. All right, but if you go to the chat session, there's also a chat session. All right, which means that we also created a chat session. So everything worked the way we intended it to work. All right, so it's basically asking you to get started, enter your business name. Okay, so let's enter a business name that we're gonna be building this for. I think I was going to call this Skolo Dogs. Skolo Dogs. All right, Skolo Dogs. Then now I've entered the business name. Then it's gonna enter. Please enter the type of business, enter the number corresponding to the business type, 1, 2, or 3. So let me try and enter a number that's not here, because technically the way I've built this is that if I enter a number that's not 1, 2, or 3, it should re-ask me to enter the number again. All right, so let me say I enter 6. All right, if I enter the number 6, it shouldn't fit into this 1, 2, or 3. It should ask me again, please enter the number again. So let's enter 6 and see. Please try again. Okay, let's not enter a number, let's enter Skolo. It should again ask me the same question, because if it can't, so the way we've built it is that if it can't, it first of all tries to get an integer. So if you enter the text, this will fail. And if the number is not 1, 2, or 3, again it will ask you the same question again, because it will not save the business type. So the business type is always none. So every time you go back here, the business type will always be none until it passes that test that actually saves the business type, so that we can go into the country. All right, so let me enter 1. Okay, so this time I should be okay. Which country are you from? So this time it entered 1. I went in here and it saved the business type properly. So after it saves the business type, when I come back, the business type is now saved. So it goes into the country and it checks, is the country saved? The country is not saved. If the country is not saved in the model, then it will ask you to please enter the country. All right, so in this specific case, which country am I from? I'm going to say I'm from South Africa. All right, then it's going to ask you the next question. What product or service will your business be providing? So let me just clarify, this is not an AI chatbot. This is a programmed interface, right? If you wanted a chatbot, you could still actually build a chatbot. Maybe we'll get to it, okay? I want to note it in my book. We're going to do a WhatsApp chatbot, especially with WhatsApp API coming through. Oh gosh, I'm gonna build that application. Yeah, I'm gonna do it with the chat. What do you call it? The ChatGPT. We can build an actual chatbot with the ChatGPT. This is not a chatbot. This is an interface with an application, right? The chatbot would be one function every time, getting whatever you're asking and providing a response, and it's an intelligent thinking machine. This is not an intelligent thinking machine. This one just takes whatever questions you're asking and then it just saves them in a database. We will build a chatbot later, okay? I'm actually just waiting for them ChatGPT chatbot to come through, and then we're gonna do this on WhatsApp. We're gonna build a WhatsApp chatbot. I'm so excited about that. I can't wait. I'm sure the API is coming very, very soon, okay? Because currently you can only access ChatGPT via the website, okay? I actually want the API because I'm a developer. I can't do anything on the website. I need the Okay, I'm talking too much. Let's get back to work, okay? What product service will your business be providing? We are a dog grooming service. Okay, we are a dog grooming service. We provide the following services. What I've learned with APIs, especially with the OpenAI API, it's really easier to work with it when you give it numbers and list things for it, But let me type like a person would type, okay? We're probably good at we provide the following services. Dog cleaning. dog shaving, brushing of the dog teeth, and dog spa. All right. We provide the following services. Describe your business idea in 1 or 2 sentences. I think this is exactly what I want to say. I'm just going to copy it in here. I'm going to just, do the same thing. All right. How many years have you been in business for? Enter a number like 1 or 2 years. I don't know. I'm going to say 1 year. All right. And how much traction have you made in your business? No traction to date. Right. Great. We have everything that we need to build your business plan. So this works exactly the way I thought it should work. If I go up here, the last part of this application is over here, where you have provided we have everything that we need to build your business plan. So let's have a look at our database. So into the chat session. All right, everything that we've entered has been saved here. So the business name is Skolo Dogs. The business type is Pty Ltd. The country, the product or service is exactly how I entered it in the WhatsApp. It saved everything in the database, the description, the number of years in operation, the progress, no traction to date. So everything has been saved inside of the database, which is cool. Now we can go into the next part of our application, where we actually take this information and add it into the data, into the GPT to build the model. All right. So what I would want to say here is we have everything we need to build your business plan. So I'm gonna return over here, but before I return, I'm gonna write a function here. I'm gonna call it create business. Create new business plan. All right, and then I'm going to enter. I need the profile of the person. All right. So if we have the from ID, we can get the profile. Right? From ID. So let's just enter the from ID. The from ID is available inside of this function because it comes in here at the top, the from ID, right? So let's write this function. We haven't written it. This is going to be a long function, right? I'm going to write it at the top here. All right. So let's decide how to do this. We're going to say def from ID. We need the from ID to fetch. First of all, we need to actually, we have the chat. We don't even need the from ID. We need the chat. So we can use a from ID, but if we already have the chat, it's just better to do it that way. So instead of putting in the from ID over here, let's just use the chat. The chat is available at this stage because it's the chat that we've been building. All right, chat.save, and then we're going to say create new business plan using the chat. Okay, not the from ID. Because at the end of this all, we actually need to say chat.delete. Okay, you'll understand why we need to delete it at the end, because that was a session and we've already used the session to create the business plan, and now we can delete the chat. All right. So delete the chat at the end, right? But there's a couple of things we need to write in here. All right, there's a couple of things we need to do. The first thing is that we need to build the business plan. All right, after we build the business plan, we need to send the document. We need to create the document PDF, and after we do that, we need to send document link This is going to be a long function, and I'm going to write it right here in front of you as I go. I haven't written this before. I haven't tested this. I'm actually going to write it as I go. So give me a moment to breathe, and then we're going to continue. All right. I've already, these are all the different steps we're going to follow, right? But I want to approach it slightly differently, all right? Because I know how to build a business plan. I have already created all the functions that we need inside of our AI file. These are all the functions we need to build the business plan, and we've already tested that they're working. So I'm not too worried about these ones, all right? What I need to now build is actually, I think what is of initial importance is to generate the PDF, because there's a couple of things you need to do to generate a PDF inside of Django, and some of it is actually outside of Python and based on the operating system. So many people, if you're following along with this tutorial, this is a stage where the code might look slightly different from mine. This is why when I started, I asked you to build this on a DigitalOcean droplet. I know I've gotten questions about the cost. It costs as little as $5 a month. And if you use the code that I would have linked for you, you've gotten at least 2 months for free, where you can actually just build this and test it. If you don't like it, you can stop using it before they even charge you anything. But this is not going to work if you don't build this inside of a Linux environment, because it might work in another environment, but it might be different code. But if you want to follow along with me step by step, specifically for the PDF, you might want to be in Linux, because I'm going to do this for the Linux environment. I can't build this for every environment that we have out there, right? So to create the PDF, there's a couple of things that you need, because it works with the operating system. It works outside of the Django code, all right? So I have a Skolo Online documentation, which I have linked in the description many times, and I will link it again so you can follow along. All right, inside of my Django documentation, if you go into where it says Django there and you scroll to the bottom, there's a section that says PDF generation, okay? I've got everything that you need under this section. You can just follow this step by step and and build this, okay? So first of all, what you need is you need two things. You need this XVFB, and then you need the WKHTML to PDF. But I could have already installed it, so I'm going to just there's one way to find out if your system already has this WHTML to PDF, what they call this WHTML, whatever. It's very likely that my system already has it, because I've got a lot of multiple applications on here that probably use this. But I'm going to just if you say which WKHTML to PDF to PD, it must say to PDF. Okay, I'm missing an F at the end there. All right, if you say which WKHTML to PDF, this is a function that you need. You will see I already have mine installed. It says user local bin WKHTML to PDF. So if you don't have it installed and you're working in a new environment, these are the steps that you need to follow, and they are all written in here very, very simply, okay? The first step is to update your and I'm gonna go with this with you, all right? And then you run this code. It's very simple. It just updates your packages, all right? It's a pseudocode because you have to be super user to do this, all right? All right. So once you've done this, then you the next thing that you need to do is to install XVPO. You have to install it using the sudo app. That's why I'm saying these commands are only going to work inside of a Linux environment, okay? So just copy this and paste it there, all right? So I think I've already installed this, and if I install it again, it probably just tell me that I've already installed this, all right? I'm just gonna say yes, all right? So just go ahead and install, because I had not installed this. So it's fine. You'll just run the same code and install that XVBF, or whatchamacallit. And then once you've done that, everything is really clear over here. Now you need to know which Ubuntu system you're running at. If you've just joined, if you've followed my tutorial, or you're just doing this for the first time, most likely you are on Ubuntu 20.04, okay? I don't know which year you will be watching this, but if you're watching this now in 2022, you would be on Ubuntu 20. So I don't know which other Ubuntus they're going to release in future, but there's a way you can find the latest version. There's a website that I normally use. I don't know why I didn't link it in here. but I'm going to like try and search for it, because you can always go to that website and find the latest version that you need to install. But for now, assume you're running on Ubuntu 20. Otherwise, you can actually just search for it. Okay, let me just search. These are the terms you want to search for. You want to search for Linux install, and it's not this one. It's a website I've visited before. Why can't I find it? Okay, I can't find it. I'll try and see if I look for it and I find it. I will. Is it this one? Computing Geeks. Yeah, it's this one. I'll link this website in the description below. All right. So the latest one, again, like I said, is this Ubuntu 20. All right. Maybe in future there'll be a different one, and over here you'll find a different version of this, and I'm sure they'll update this, and then you will just use that installation. For now, we are on Ubuntu 20. So what all you need to do is to do wget. What wget does is that it downloads this package where it's saved for Ubuntu 20. You just sort of copy this, all right, and you paste it in there, all right, and then you run this. Okay, so I'm not going to run this because I've already actually I can run this and just show you. Okay, so what it will do is that it actually goes and it downloads this thing, right? And you want to run this in the root of the application. So if I say ls over here, you'll see there's a new file in red. This is a file it just downloaded. Okay, and I'm going to remove it, right, because I don't really want it over here. Okay, so let me clear and ls, so it's gone now. But when you do run it, you must probably wanna do cd that, so that you can run this in the sort of like the root of your machine. All right, and then it will download this file over here. So what's going on? Yeah, it will download that file that I just deleted, and as soon as it downloads, just put in a sudo apt install / whatever that file that it downloaded. Okay, we don't always copy and paste what I have here, because we will not know what file it downloaded, right? So instead, do a list and then copy that file that you just downloaded, and then just add sudo apt install / that file name. So what it will do is that it will unpack that file and install it for you inside of your machine. All right, so these are the different versions. So once you've done it, then remove it, do rm and remove it, and then you're cool to go. All right, so once you've done that, then you need to do pip install pdfkit. This is now a Python library. It's different from this WHTML to PDF. This WHTML to PDF is going to be installed inside of your machine, and you only have to do this once. So if you install a droplet and you build a droplet and you install it once, and then you build another application in future, you don't have to run it again, which is why I don't have to run it again, because I've already run it. But inside of your virtual environment, right, where you've got the env, all right, you need to do pip install pdfkit, because pdfkit is a Python package that now gets installed inside of your virtual environment. Okay, because you need both pdfkit and WHTML to PDF. All right, then once you've done that, you need to do this which WHTML to PDF, so that you can see where it's installed. All right, and then you might want to just copy this location, because you're going to need it later. Okay, so just copy this location, right, and just put it in here somewhere in there, so that you'll have it. We will come back to it later, because it doesn't always install it in the same place. Sometimes, depending on the environment, it sometimes just installs it under user bin, whatever. So just find where it installed it, and the best way is to do the which whatever function. Then once you've done that, we are good to go. All right, so these are all the steps you need to follow, and they're all inside of this documentation, which I will show for you. And then after I've done that, I just want to test quickly. I want to just test that this actually works. Very, very important to just test before we actually build anything that we want to build. Let's just test that we can actually build a PDF document. All right, and there's a function here called create PDF, which you can just copy exactly, right? You can actually just copy this file. This is a view function, so you need it inside of your view it'll create a view with a PDF on it. All right, so inside of my views over there, all right, I can actually just like build this function. All right, and let's just take you through it. All right, so Yeah, you see this is not right, so let me just copy these and make sure that the indents are okay. All right, so dish. Okay, the indents are fine now. Okay, all right, so you can, this is the name of the file, or you can call it anything that you want. All right, let me just change this so you can see what happens. I'm gonna call it test PDF. The template is where you need to build an HTML template that is going to be used to generate the PDF document. And the HTML template can just be like simple paragraph headings and all of that. But you need a little bit of styling, you know. So I've got my default HTML template over here. Maybe I will also put a gist for this and you can use this. And then inside of the container is where you can put everything that you want. So this document.html is inside of the business app. So inside of templates is called document.html. So in our views, you can just this app is which app it's in. So it's inside of the business app, and then it's called document.html. Business / document. Right, and inside of the business. Okay, so this get template is actually you need to import this on the file. So you'll see over here I've got all your imports there, right? So let me just copy them and put them in here. Just paste them in there. HTTP response I've already imported. Render I've already imported, so these ones I don't need to import them again. PDF kit is new, so I'm gonna just like highlight this and say this is the PDF generation stuff. All right, and then the get template is a template loader, and then operating system. All right, so these are the imports that you need to get this function to work. So that's where that get template comes from. All right, there's going to be like some context if you want to add anything into the context, right? So let's say, for example, name and surname, right? So inside of the document document, you can actually like send things into the context. So you can say hello world, right? And then you can say this is my name, right? And the name you can say whatever that name is, right? And then let's enter another paragraph and say surname, right? And then do double surname. So this is name, surname. We've entered that in the context like that, and then the name is Skolo, the surname is online. This will help us to enter more variables in the context. Like when we build the business plan, we'll have to enter those variables into this context, like the way we have it in there. And then the HTML is then that template that you've just collected from there, and you render with this context. All right, and then these are the options that you need. All right, just sort of like, yeah, do it exactly the way I've done it here. And then the config, JavaScript delay, this is optional. Okay, so this you don't have to even, in fact, I'm going to remove the JavaScript delay completely. Yeah. And then config, and then this is the PDF kit configuration. So this location that I told you to save, that location of where the HTML to PDF is very, very important that you enter it in here. And this is normally where the problem comes in. So you always have to run that which HTML to PDF and then copy this location over here. In fact, I can even cut it. And then inside of the views, that is what you need to paste over here because it's sometimes different. So every time you must actually check the location properly. And then once you've done that, you can actually enter your CSS and your, but I'm going to remove these. All right, CSS1 and CSS2. I'm not going to enter this because usually it doesn't really work well anyway. And then so you get the config, and then the file content is PDF kit from string, that HTML, which is that HTML over there. False config is equals to this config, and then options is equals to options. Okay, but I'm going to remove, oh no, options is equals to options. There it is. All right, and then after that we create an HTTP response. All right, and then we sort of like content file is is PDF, and then we build an inline frame, and then we return that response. Okay. So what it will do, it will build this this response of a PDF document with all of these rendered HTML file, which has been converted into PDF from string over here with the PDF kit, with the configuration that you've given it, that HTML to PDF, and the context that you've entered into the HTML. This is the function for creating a PDF document. I just want to run this to test that the PDF creation works properly, because obviously later on when we're actually building the business plan, you want to sort of like, and I always tell my students, the people that I teach development, especially when you have these many steps in one place that you've got to build properly, always break down your function into small steps and work those steps separately, instead of writing one long function and then getting confused as to where your error is coming from. Okay, so for example, once I know that the PDF generation is working, then I know that's not going to be the problem. And then I already know that my WhatsApp chat is working, then I only have to focus on building the business plan and then putting it all together. All right. So for now, I'm more worried about whether I'm going to get my PDF to be okay. But this is the function that you need to use. All right. So I'm going to save this. And of course, this is a view function. So it's going to generate that PDF inside of a view of a website, which is not really what we want, but I'm just going to do it as a, just as a middle testing step to make sure that my PDF generation works fine, especially the way the document is going to come out. All right. I want to even, maybe I can even like enter some like, let me put in a break over here and just enter some, some long text, so I can see paragraphs and everything, that everything looks fine inside of the PDF document. Then obviously we will not be building this inside of a view function. We will save the actual PDF document inside of our database and just, send a link to a person via WhatsApp. Okay. So to get to the, we need to use the URLs, of course, to build a view function. All right. So let me just like save this in here. All right, so let's see, what are we gonna call it? Okay, this is the webhook. All right, so this is the WhatsApp webhook. All right, and then this is the PDF testing. Okay, you can even make some space over here so that you can see the different URLs. So for the PDF testing, we're going to call it PDF test. I'm going to delete the view function later. I'm just using it to test this. Okay, so it's going to be views.this function over there. All right, and we're going to just call it PDF test. Okay, so if we go to PDF test inside of our URLs, this PDF test, it should go into this create PDF function and go and get this template, and it should run all of this and return a response of everything that we've entered in here, which is like a static response, to be honest, but I'm just really testing my PDF generation that works well. Okay, so let's push this. Right, let's run this in the server. Okay. Let's run this. Okay, there's an indent issue with the config. Where is it? Oh, yes, I see it. Okay, so after this, options 1 2 3 4. All right, it's because of this closing bracket over there. All right, coolio. Let's have a look now. Cool, no indent issue. So basically all I have to do is to go into my function. Where am I running this? I'm running this on 146.190. All right, so let me open it in here. 146.190. If you go to the home page, it's just going to show you that index.html. But what I need to, I need to go into this PDF test. So /PDF test. There you go. Works perfectly. Our PDF generation works amazingly. You can see hello world is what we typed. This is the document.html. We started by typing hello world, and then the name Skolo Online. We're able to get that via the context. And then we've got this paragraph, which just shows perfectly. I like the text size, the paragraph. So this is where you could edit some of your stuff. Like you'll see on my HTML over here, I've got some, some information around the paragraph and the font size. If you think maybe this is too big or too small, you can change the font size here. So the CSS, and so something very, very important to mention. The CSS that you use inside of your PDF generation, you have to have it in the actual document directly. This is how we used to build websites a long time ago, before we had huge CSS files. The PDF kit doesn't read a CSS file very well. I've tried many, many things, and eventually what works is just to build a very basic CSS configuration directly in the file. This is like how the email templates work. All right, you have to actually build the CSS directly in the file and make it as simple as possible. All right, just define like H1, H2 paragraphs, because there isn't a lot of CSS elements you're going to use in a PDF anyway, because the PDF is just like a like a Word document, right? Maybe you can define as much CSS as you like, but I like to keep it as minimal because you have to define it inside of the file itself. All right, so once you've done that, I think I'm happy with this. So we can continue to build our what we need to build. So obviously over here, this is not what we're going to be building. All right, we're going to be building something else, and then we'll get back to this later. Okay, building the business plan here. All right, we're going to build a business plan here. And also, we won't be doing it via the view function like this. What we'll be doing is that we'll be saving this file directly into our database, and then we will sort of access it later on. Okay, so it won't be a view function. So I'm going to inside of the URLs, I'm going to remove this because we're not going to have a view function. And then I'm going to remove this from the views. All right, this create PDF. I'm going to remove it from the views. All right, I'm going to remove it from the views. And I'm going to put it inside of the functions, and I'm going to put it over here. Create the PDF document. And of course, I need just to show it my views, I need all of these imports over here in the functions as well. All right, render. I think there's more imports that we need. HTTP response and render. Let me just copy them, even though I don't think I'll use the HTTP response, but let me just put it in there anyway. I'll delete it when I don't use it. And we won't be using the request. Let me just double check this. Yeah, we won't need the request either. We won't need the request. We will use something else over here, maybe the chat. All right, we will figure out what we need to put in here. All right, and we will figure out what context we're going to add in there. But the important thing is I want to just edit the way we've done this. Instead of doing the response like the way we've done it here, I think inside of my documentation I sort of show you how to save this file. Okay, yeah, where we have the save path. So let me do it like this. PDF save path. This is very, very important. So this is like when you need to save the file and not just display it. All right. So saving the file. This. Yeah. Okay, saving the file. Let me just copy this. So over here, so config, file content. All right, so before this file content, let's just paste this in here and see what we're doing. So we need to have the absolute path to the directory where we want to save the file. All right. So so how are we going to do this? So the absolute path, we probably need the settings. All right, we probably need the settings over there. Yeah, we've got the settings. We need the settings. We need the settings dot. Let me just double check what I would have called it. Inside of the settings file, Django settings. I would have called it the media root. Now I would have called it this. Is it the media root? Yeah. Uploads. All right. I would have called it the media root. This is where this is like where we're keeping our media information. So if you exit out of this and you clear here and you look there, we need to have a folder that is called what did we call our media root folder? Uploads. All right. And it's not there because we actually haven't uploaded anything, but we can actually create it, right? mkdir uploads over here. So this will become our media root. This uploads will be the folder in where we save everything, right? So after we've done that, inside of the media root, right? If you look at the media root, we need to then enter. We need to add to the media root. We need to add like an identifier, like inside of the media root. Maybe we're gonna call this I don't know, business plans. So we're gonna create a folder in there called business plans. All right, and then inside of this folder, we're gonna have maybe the unique ID of the profile of the user so that we can identify which business plan belongs to which user. So maybe we have, I don't know, the profile unique ID, something like that. And then after that, then we can generate, yeah, let's do it like that. So let's do like format profile dot unique ID. Of course, we don't have the profile set at this stage. So the first thing that we're going to need to enter in here is the chat, because we have the chat over there. And then once we have the chat, we can actually get the profile from the chat. So if we go into our models and we look at our chat session, we can get the profile from the chat session. So we can say the profile is equals to the chat.profile. So let's go back into the functions there and define some variables. Variables we need. The first variable is a profile and is equals to whatever that chat that we entered there times profile. We have the chat available to us because if you look at it in this function where we're going to call our function, the chat is being sent from the function underneath, which is the chat session. So from the chat session, we can actually get the profile, which is what we will use over here to get the unique ID, and then we can sort of like get the file path. All right. And if you look at our PDF generation at the bottom here, this is just the direct way the path that we're going to save the file. And then we need the file name. All right, the file name here is going to be, so we're going to enter the chat and then we're going to put in here the business plan. All right. Okay, and the file name is going to be, all right, the business plan dot unique ID. All right, the business plan unique ID, which is just going to be a string. We're going to have to enter .pdf to make it like a PDF document. All right, so we'll also enter the business plan model instance in here, and we can get that file name of that business plan .pdf because it's just a unique ID, and then we can use that to generate the file name. All right, and then we're going to use operating system to create this file path if it doesn't exist. All right, and then after that, the save location of the PDF will now be that file path plus the file name, and then we can save the PDF by using PDF kit HTML PDF save path. Where is this now? Oh yeah, PDF save path, which is this path that we've generated here, which is this file path, that file name, and then the config is the same in the options. And then this file path actually, right, is what we need to return. All right, so what we need to return now, okay, let me say we need to know because obviously currently we won't be able to we need an HTTPS link to send to the user, right? And an HTTPS link to send to the user is going to be the website location appended. You're gonna need to append this file path, this PDF path to the website location, and then that's what we need to send. Okay, so the doc URL, all right, is going to be equals to whatever this website of ours is, right? Where is it? This website, right, is going to be equals to this, right? Plus whatever this PDF path is, you see. And then this will be like the HTTPS location that we're going to send back to the person, right? And this is exactly what we need to return. So we're no longer doing all of this, responses and everything. So we need to actually just return this. So instead of even doing that, we can just say return that. So that when we call this function over here, create PDF, right? When we call this function over here, the document URL is going to be equals to this function. You see, the business plan, we still have to get the business plan over here. We're going to create it. We're going to create it over there. But before I continue, like I said, always troubleshoot your code bit by bit. There's a couple of things I just need to double check, especially you could have multiple slashes here and there. So I'm just going to check a couple of things, especially this file path. I just want to make sure that this media root is going to be correct. Okay, so I'm going to clear that, and I'm going to just check that it's there in my settings file. So I need to run Python inside of a Django shell. So the way you want to do that is python manage.py shell. This is the same thing as just typing Python in any other shell, is to create a Python shell where you can run Python commands. But I want to run these Python commands inside of the Django context because I want to use Django variable instead of this Django application specific context. So that's why we're doing it like that. Now I want to double check that my media root, I want to import settings, because now you can import settings because you are inside of this Django context. All right, and then I want to check that I've set my media root properly. All right, and I want to see what these settings on media root will give me. There you go. Settings media root is this. So this is not what we want. No, this is what we want. Uploads without the minus. Okay, this is what we want. This is a file path. But I've just learned that the file, This is a file path, and this is correct, but you'll see this is the absolute path, so it's going to save this from home, everything. So this is not the application context. I mean, this is not like the root of the application. This is a problem down here. This will work and it will save the file properly, but what we're returning, this is wrong. All right, we need to actually get an HTTPS type URL which doesn't start from the home, from home Zatosh, that actually starts from where the application is, which is just uploads going forward. So what we actually need is a media. We've got two media URLs. We've got the media root and the media. Let me just show you inside of there. Django settings. Okay. Just bear with me here. We've got the media root and the media URL. So what we need actually is the media URL to get the HTTPS root. Okay. So if you now say settings media URL, you get uploads, which is what we want. Okay. So over here we need to get now the HTTPS root. Okay. Path. Okay. The HTTPS path is going to be equals to whatever that website, this website of ours is. This website, all right, is going to be equals to this website. Uploads, right? It's going to be equals to this website uploads, and then it's going to be equals. Then we're going to need to add the rest of this in here. Okay, plus the rest of this. Okay, you don't need two commas, so you can just have it like that. All right, and then the profile.unique ID. No. Yeah, and then we need to add the file name as well, because this is just the path. Then after that we need to add the file name, which is where's the file name? File name. We need to add the file name in there, right? All right, so what we have here is I need to define the profile unique ID. So let me actually just check that this is working properly. The unique ID is equals to, let me just enter anything random there. File name is equals to .pdf. All right, and then I just want to check that this will work, that this is correct. All right, so file name and then unique ID. Let's not say profile dot, let's just say unique ID, but in reality it will be profile dot. There you go. So it will be HTTPS messages Skolo Online uploads, business plans, and then this is the unique ID of the profile, which is the folder that it will create to save everything under, and then this will be the file name. Okay, so this function is correct, but I wanted to just check that this one would also work. All right, let me just say profile unique ID over there. Cool. So what does it do here? It will save it under home, and it will save it into the app, it will save it into the uploads, and then inside of the uploads we will have the business plans. Okay, and then we'll have this folder in here. All right, so I think I need a dash at the end there. Okay, we need business plans, that. All right, so let's copy that again. We need a slash at the end. Cool. And then it will save it inside of this folder. Okay, cool. So when it saves the PDF the first time, it will save it inside of this media root into a folder called business plans, and then whatever the unique ID of the profile of the person. So each and every every time we do this, whoever is a person that's currently logged in, it will save it under that profiles folder, and it will create a new folder if the folder doesn't exist. That's why we have this make directory create a new folder, which means if we end up with 100 users and 100 different profiles, it will have 100 different folders in there with a different business plan. But also what's nice about this is that if the same user comes back and creates a new business plan, it will save it under their profile folder. So there'll be a profile folder. So if I've built more than one business plan, I'll have one folder. I might have more than one business plan in there, because the file name itself will always be the unique ID of the business plan. This is a business plan, instance, model instance. We haven't built it yet, but we will need it. We know we will build it, and it will have a unique ID, and then that will be the file name. The file name that we're using, which is the business plan.uniqueid.pdf. That will be the file name. Okay, so this should work. All right. PDF kit from string. We save the path. We save it in this path. All right, and we use that configuration and those options. We know this works, and then this is the path that we need to return. Okay. This is the path that we need to return, and this, and the file name, and then we should be okay. So now we need to actually build this business plan, right? Now we need to build this business plan, which is this business plan instance over there that we need to build. So I'm going to write a function over here, and we're going to call this function build with a chat. Okay, so this function, I can have it in here, build the business plan. And to build this function, of course, we're going to need a lot of the variables inside of the AI file. Okay, so all of this AI file, we need to import it into our functions. Okay, so I'm going to say from AI, what do we call it? AI file, import everything. So what it's going to do is going to import all the functions from inside of the AI file. Okay, now we can actually call those functions in here. We can call those functions in here, all right, and build our business plan. All right, so what are the functions we need? Let me go to the AI file. Let me put it closer. Here we've got the progress, so we can actually use this function, right? This is the first function, and this function creates the description. All right, so let's go to the functions, and I think let me just call it description. I'm going to get the exact variable inside of the model now. All right, company description progress. This is the function from the AI file, but to get this description in our model, we called it business name. No, not the chat session. I want the model, the business plan. There you go. So these are the functions we need. Okay, I mean, these are the variables that we need. So let me just type them at the bottom here. Okay, these are the variables we need. The profile is equal to chat.profile. So actually, let me do it like that. Let me remove this first. Let me say business plan is equals to business plan as the class business plan, right? Right, create, no, dot objects, dot create, and then we need to define all of these. The profile is definitely the chat dot profile. That's easy. The company description is the first thing that we're doing here. So this company description is that, right? and then it's that company description there, comma. Now, the business name, if we look at the chat model, let's look at our models and see what we call them, what we called it in here. So I'm going to copy all of these again, right? And I'm going to say, let me paste them. Let me paste them at the top there. I'll delete it later. Okay, so the business name, business type, the country. I just want to see the variables are the same. Short description, years, progress. Oh, it's a good thing. It's a good thing I actually called them, use the same sort of variables to name them. So I know all I have to do here is to just say chat dot. Okay, chat dot business name. So I can actually copy that and chat dot business type, chat dot country, chat dot product service, chat dot short description, chat dot years, chat dot progress. And at this stage, I'm not going to try and cover for all the exceptions we could possibly have right now. Like, let's say somebody didn't enter, you know, I mean, already in we need to sort of cover for the exceptions when we're collecting the data. This is very, very important. In forms, we normally have form validation because we want to make sure that the data that we save in our database is appropriate. So for example, for years, we want to make sure it's always a number. And someone didn't enter 20, somebody else entered 12, somebody else entered 2 point, and like, then we don't want to have data that is different. That is why when we collect the information, we have to do some validation when we're collecting the information. But there's only so much validation you can do. Like if you say business name and then somebody just entered a cat for a business name, like I wouldn't be able to validate that that's correct. So hopefully people are going to use this responsibly. But obviously there's a lot of sanitizing you can do later on, and that's a whole like field of programming in itself to make sure that the data that people enter makes sense. You can like double check what have people entered, and like if it's not quite right, please ask them to sort of to refine it and all of that. But we don't have time to go into those details. For now, I'm going to assume we have model users and they're going to enter just the right information and that this thing will work every time, but it's not always going to be the case. And just be aware of that when you're building a real life application. You have to consider, you sort of have to design for stupidity of people. We call it, you have to build your app to be foolproof. And by foolproof I mean fool as in idiot proof, a fool. Okay, you have to design your app to be idiot proof because we're going to have idiots using your app. But I'm not going to cover that now. All right, I'm going to just assume people are going to enter the stuff properly, right? So the company description, that's the company description. All right. And market analysis. Let's see. Market analysis. Let's look at our AI file. Market analysis. Where is it? There's market analysis. All right. Market analysis is equals to that. Remember, we've already covered these AI functions before, right? If you don't understand what's happening here, look at a previous video, maybe video 2 or 3. We've already covered this. I'm assuming by now you already understand what's going on here and how I'm just saying market analysis is equal to this function, because this function actually returns, it goes and sort of like does the AI, the completion, and it does everything. We've gotten this from the API. I'm assuming, you pretty much understand that. Now we're just putting the pieces together. All right. Over here, this will be chat dot, because this is now saved inside of your chat model. Remember, and we named it accordingly, right? So that's market analysis. SWOT analysis. Let's look at that. Let me just copy all of these things first. Product details. And then marketing strategy. Right? Marketing strategy. All right. So once we've done that, a SWOT analysis, let's go into our AI file. This is the thing that calls the SWOT analysis. Let's copy that. That's our SWOT analysis. Our product details. All right, let's paste that in there. our marketing strategy. Marketing strategy. And remember that these variables are inside of the chat model. All right, so we have to like say chat dot, and we gave them the exact same name. That's why we can just do chat dot. All right, product service, short description, whatever they've entered in there, dot business name, dot product service, dot short description, and then we're gonna do the same name, dot product service, dot short description. And then we're gonna create and save this business plan, right? So that's what it's gonna do there. Over here, this is always gonna be, this is the market analysis. All right, and the SWOT analysis is the same name. I called it that. The product detail, the same name. All right, and the marketing strategy, I give it the same name. Right, so then it's gonna create in the database a business plan document, right? And then we're gonna just save it. Right? So once we've done that, now we've created this business plan model. Okay, make sure that we've imported it properly at the top there. All the models are imported over here. And then we return the business plan. We return the business plan. Okay, so this business plan that we've just created, all right, is equals to this function because it returns using the chat. So we build the business plan. After building the business plan, we create the PDF document with the chat and that business plan, right? And then after that, we send the document to the user. This is simple. Send WhatsApp message. Where is our WhatsApp message? There it is. Send WhatsApp message. Phone number message, right? So we just sort of send WhatsApp message, chat.delete, and that's it. So send WhatsApp message, the phone number, we're gonna need that. Is it the phone ID? Which is this phone ID here. So let's see how we normally send the WhatsApp message. Yeah, it's from ID. Okay, so we need the, not the phone ID, the from ID, which you can also get from the chat, by the way, right? So we don't actually have to do it like that. We have the chat over there. This phone number, if we look at our models, no, actually, let's just, we can get it via the profile, but that might be, you know, I don't know. Let's just get it because it's available. It's available over here. So that's easy. Let's just get the from ID here. And so when we call this function, create new business plan over there, let's just enter the from ID because it's already available over here. It's the same from ID there. And then that from ID will come over there. It's a from ID that we'll put in the function there, and then the message. I love my emojis, all right? Emojis. Let me get a nice smiley face, even grinning face. And let's copy that emoji over here into the WhatsApp. And then we're gonna say, oop, your business plan is ready. Is ready. Whoop whoop. And then let's put in what was the previous emoji we had here? The finger. Okay, let's copy that finger. And then we're gonna put in that URL, okay? Doc URL. And then they should be able to just immediately download this PDF document, right? But maybe finger down. Let me do finger down instead. Let me do finger down, this one. Instead of finger left, let me copy this because I can add a new line. Okay, new line, so that you can like sort of see the URL under a new line. Okay, your message is ready. We can actually send that WhatsApp message and then we can delete the chat. If the person starts chatting again, it's going to be a completely different business plan. This is going to take a while to build, so this function will take like a couple of minutes to do this. We know this will work. All right, we know this. We don't know if this will work. I haven't tested this yet, but what I want to test over here is I actually want to test this function with this chat. Okay, like I said, when you build big things, it's sometimes important to test these things, right? I want to test all of these functions. Okay, so I'm going to save them and I'm going to try and create this business plan. All right, and then I'm going to try and create I'm going to test all of these things manually so that if there's an error, I can figure it out now. Okay, so let's exit out of here. Let's clear. It's clear. All right, let's push. Coolio. So now, what I want to test is that I can build a business plan using a chat. All right. So let us import the chat models. So we'll probably want to do this inside of the shell. All right. So let's just run the previous command. All right. And then from business models, import everything. So what it's going to do is that inside of the business folder and the file called models, it's going to import all the models. So I'm importing basically my models, all right? And then I want to get this model, this chat, because there's only one chat in the session, by the way. All right. So I'm going to say chat is equals to dot objects dot all dot first. So it can give me the first one because it's the first one. I mean, like there's only one in there. All right. So if I say chat, it's going to be this chat session object 5 is the last chat session that we had, which is this chat session. So if we go in here, where's my admin? Did I close my admin? It's this chat session object 5. It's this one. So if I refresh this, and it's the only chat session in there, that's why when I say first is the only one that will come up. What all does, it fetches everything, and then here we just get the first one. We want one object, one chat session. Okay. Then I want to then call the functions from here. So I'm going to say from business dot functions, import everything, import all the functions. So it's going to import from this business folder, and this functions file is going to import all the functions. The function I want to test is this one, build business plan with a chat. And it will build it inside of the database, by the way. Okay, so let's build it. It will take time because it's running like 5 different API calls. And it's gonna take a long time. This is probably the most complex part of my entire workflow, by the way. So obviously, because somebody will be sending WhatsApp messages, we'll tell them, give us 5 minutes, we are working on your business plan, right? And they won't be impatient because, they can wait a minute or two. Because what we're doing now is that we're getting all of the information, all the answers they gave me from the chat session that I had with them. They're getting it's getting all of those into a thing. So let's wait for it. Anyway, while we're waiting, we need to put all of this information now into the PDF document, which we haven't done properly, by the way. This is the business plan, create PDF. If you recall, our creating our PDF is just like in the context, we're just entering the name and the surname. But of course, that's not what we need to be entering in our context. In our context, what we need to be entering is this. Okay, these things, marketing strategy and all of those, right? So if I go into the context, let's do it like that. Right, is it still building? Awesome, it has built the business plan. We're done. If we go into the business plan now, business plans, and we look at the last one, there it is. Our business plan is done. This is all the AI generated context. All right, so what I'm going to do is I want to view it in a PDF because now it's obviously just in a database, right? So this is amazing. I was worried about that function, right? But clearly it was well done. But now we're going to focus now on building the actual PDF. So where were we? All right, so this is the context. So let's just delete all of these. Delete all of that and build this into the context. Dash. All right, so company description is equals to business plan. No, plan dot company description, and then the context, that is that, right? The market analysis is equals to business plan, like that, dot that. So this business plan is that business plan that we're inputting at the top there. So it's this business plan like that. All right, and then context. All right, market SWOT analysis, let's copy. Is equals to business plan dot SWOT analysis. Product detail is equals to business plan dot product detail, and this is the context. Okay, marketing strategy is equals to business plan dot that context. Cool. So now we can add all of these into the context. So we have all of these variables available in the context. Let me just copy them again and go into my document HTML over here. I'll delete it later. So so what we want to have in here is company description. Maybe we want to put this in an H1, right? Company description, and then perhaps want to put a paragraph in there, and then you want to put the company description in there, right? From the context. Cool. And then we maybe want to have like a bit of a heading or a, because I know they've given you the company name and all of those things, So maybe we want to, before even all of this, we want to have like, maybe there's going to be like a ruler, a line, and in front of there we will have maybe something like, we can have a paragraph and some bold, strong around it. And then we can have, company name. What else do they give us? And then let's see if we can't get the company name in here. Chat. Yeah, we should have the company name in here. So context, company name is equals to chat dot. So if I go look at my chat, what did we call it? Did we call it company name? Business name. We call it business name. So it's chat.business name. Let's chat.business name. So let's call it business name as well. So let's keep everything standard. so that over here in the document, we can have this, we can at least have the business name in here. All right. And then we can have another, maybe heading 1 over there that says business plan. Okay, document. Okay, maybe we want to put in the date as well. Okay, date. Let's see, what is the date over here? Actually, this is easy. We can actually inside of the models over here, we can, inside of the functions, we can enter the date there. Context date. We can use actually the business plan. Date created. We have the date created in here. And then, so inside of the document over there, we can just put in the date. All right, which is the business plan date created. It gives us the date, and we can have the date in here. But we might remember this is a date time, so maybe we wanna summarize it and have it as date like that. Okay, this is like a template filter so that it shows only the date, not the full date time. Or we could even like, no, you don't need the time and everything, so let's just leave it like that. So over here, this will be the company description. All right, and then we'll have maybe like some space, right? And then we'll have another heading 1, market analysis. All right, and then we'll have a paragraph, market analysis. All right, and then we'll have a break. We'll have another heading 1, SWOT analysis. All right, and then we'll have another paragraph saying SWOT analysis. All right, and then we'll have another break. Let's remove all of that. And then another heading 1 over there, which will have product details. All right, and then we'll have another paragraph, product detail. All right, then we'll put in a break, and then the last one is marketing strategy, H1, marketing strategy, and then we'll have marketing strategy like that. Then you can delete all of that, and you can decide if you want to have 2 breaks, but let's see what the PDF looks like first, and then we can sort of take it from there. So the way it will look, we'll have the, like a heading that says business plan document, and then we'll put in the business name, the date, and the information 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that we've gotten from the AI, which is saved in our database, which we are getting from here. And then we'll render the template, and then we'll be able to do that. So actually now I'm thinking, okay, so this will work to create the document, right? And from ID, okay, so this from ID, I think I'm gonna get it the other way, right? This from ID, instead of entering it from the top there, we can get it from the chat, chat.profile, phone ID. Let me just have a look at when I was saving the profile over here. When I saved the profile the first time, the phone number is the from ID. The from ID is the phone number. So what I need to do over here is to say this from ID is the chat dot profile, chat.profile.phone number. Okay, so chat.profile.phone number. This way I don't have to enter the from ID there. Okay, which means I don't have to enter the form ID here, which means I can basically, now that I've created this business plan, all I need is that chat and the business plan to actually just test the create PDF functionality and double check that I will get sent a URL with that PDF in it. All right, and then I'll know if everything works, because this way I'll get the doc URL and then I can test the doc URL before even sending it back to myself. All right, yeah. Dish. Actually, yeah. And then I can just test this as well. All right, so let's save this. It's quite a bit, but I think the hard part is over. Git add. Test PDF. All right. There's something else I need to mention at this stage. All right, so let me actually exit out of here. Let me clear this. At this stage, you need to double check your Jinx file that it includes that you are rendering the uploads folder. Otherwise, the HTTPS path that we are creating here is not going to work, because this is an HTTPS link that anybody can access via HTTPS. So for the HTTPS link will only work if you're actually what is the word? If you're actually like rendering that or displaying it via the Jinx file. So if you look at back in our documentation, remember when we did the deployment, when we deployed this within Jinx the last time, if you remember, sites available, all right, you need to go into sites available, all right, and double check your Jinx configuration and make sure that it includes, that it has CD. All right, this one is the one that I need to have a look at. So I need to just say nano and open that. And yeah, there you go. So you need to make sure that inside of your Jinx file, you are serving the static folder that covers the static elements, but you need to also be serving the uploads folder, which is where you're going to be saving all your uploads documents, which is where we are actually creating this document that we're building. So this document that we're building over here, you can see over there, we are saving it inside of the media root, which is the uploads folder inside of your domain. So you need to make sure that your Jinx is serving this uploads folder, because that's how we'll access this code. Saves the document, but this is the URL that actually displays it. Okay. So this, you need to just double check this. So I'm just going to exit this. No, do not save anything. I'm going to just CD out of here. I mean CD root and CD back into where I was. CD all right, so now that I've done that, did I save everything in here? Yeah. So let me just actually restart my my system CTL file. So we need to do restart message. What this does is that because we're already running our application on HTTPS, my password right? Cool. Because we're already running this on HTTPS, every time I make changes, if I'm not running them on the development folder and I want them to replicate on the actual production server, I need to just restart my system CTL, So whatever, I need to start that system so that all the changes I've made are now on the HTTPS working, right? And then what I want to do now is I still want to run this in the shell. Because I want to run this, test this function one by one. Okay, I know that I've already tested this one with the chat. I want to test this one with the chat and the business plan. All right, so I need to import the models. Okay, import everything, and then the chat is going to be equals to the chat, if you remember, is this chat session, and I'm going to get the first one again because it's the only chat session. By the way, this only works if you only have one chat session in here. By the way, if you did this more than one session, just fetch the correct session. Okay, so chat session dot objects dot all dot first. I just want to double check again, why do I need the chat session inside when I'm creating the business plan? Or the profile. And what do I need the profile for? Or the saving, the location where I'm saving the stuff. Okay, because I'm wondering, we're not using the chat anyway in here for any functionality because we've already built the business plan and we just only need the business plan. But I can see I need the chat to get the profile, to get the the location. Yeah, but you could do it, you could use another unique ID, you could even use but I don't want to use the business plan unique ID because I want to be able to generate multiple business plans. So I want to be able to get the profile of the person. But you could also get the profile from the business plan, isn't it? Wouldn't the business plan give you a profile? Yeah, business plan dot, dot profile. You could actually do that. Yeah, so this will simplify things actually. So in here, instead of the functions, instead of saying chat.profile, you could just say business plan dot profile, and then you don't need the chat. All right. Let me just double check this. The business name. You do. It's fine. Let's just like undo this. Yeah, let's just leave it the way that it was, because the business name, we're using it for that as well. All right, then we've got the chat, then we need the business plan. All right, we need this business plan is equals to, there should also be only one business plan in the database, by the way, and you can always double check that. All right, with my database, we can always double check the business plans. There's only one, so you can also use the first to get that only one business plan that's in there. But if there was more than one, it will still collect it, but it might not collect the business plan that you want, so dot objects dot all dot first. Okay, oh no. Right, so if I look at the business plan there, it's that business plan object number 66. Okay, cool. Now that we've got this, we can say from business dot functions import everything, import all the functions, and then the function that I want to test is this create PDF function using the chat and the business plan. So basically, if everything runs accordingly, it should give me the doc URL, the URL of the document. And then I should be able to test that doc URL and make sure that it works fine, okay? So create PDF using the chat and the business plan. If there's an error, it will tell me. File path is not defined. All right, let's have a look there. File path. So this file path is this file path, okay? All right, file path, and then it's that file path, file name. All right, dish, and then file name, file path. Let's see. So file path should not be there anymore. It should just be this file path. Okay, plus file name. All right, let's try that again. Okay, file path defined. This is a long Christmas video, hey? But I want to finish this project now. I don't want to work on it again next year. And I don't know if I will be doing any more videos until the end of the year. So I just had to finish this. If it's long, please bear with me, all right? So then we need to just run shell again, all right? And then we need to get the chat. Okay, first of all, we need to import all our models. Then we need to import all the functions. And then we need to call the chat. Okay, let me just put this up a little bit so you can see what I'm typing in here. Jeez, okay, we need to get the chat. And then we need to get the business plan. Okay, open, close bracket. And then we need to create the PDF. Okay, there you go. And it was so quick, hey? So let's double check this. This URL, technically, if I click on this URL, anyway, I should see that PDF with my business plan on it. Woohoo! This is amazing. Oh, I'm excited. Business plan document, company description. So why do we have it like that? BR, you have all the breaks and stuff. But it's cool. I can fix that very easily. SWOT analysis, detail. Whoop, whoop. Okay, so we might have a problem. No, actually, we won't have a problem. This is amazing. This is exactly what we wanted. So I know how to fix that. You have breaks all over here. So inside of your document.html, all you need to do is, so this company description must be proper company description like that. And then over here, you just need to put the, the safe, template filter. The template, and the date also came out right, December 24th, which is today, the day before Christmas. All right. So let's just save that. Save and save over there. All right, we're gonna save all of this. That will fix that issue. And then I'm happy with my function. So I've tested this function now works, and the URL is perfect. All right, so what we're gonna do is so this create new business plan with a chat. We know this works. We've tested this one. The doc URL, we've tested it. Now all we need to do is to create this message, all right, and enter the doc URL when your business plan is ready, and then send the WhatsApp message, and with the chat.profile.phone number. So I haven't tested this one yet. All right, we can do this. Actually, we can do this quickly. So that will work. Actually, message, let's just test this. Let's just do that. Message, and then send WhatsApp message. Okay, so if I go to my WhatsApp, there's your business plan is ready. Okay, I was just testing that, even though there's no URL, it's fine. and then you delete the chat. Okay, cool. So now we are ready to test the whole thing, right? So this create new business plan function, it needs to run here after the new chat has been developed. Okay, so after this new chat has been developed, that's where we need to run this. All right, and boom, 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 boom. Okay, I'm gonna just run this function in itself, just with the chat. But it will build a whole new business plan. Oh no, I can't do that. If I'm gonna build a whole new business plan, I might as well just start everything from scratch. Okay, so let's exit out of here. Let's clear this. Let's push all these changes. All right, and then let us not shell, let's run let's restart the server. System restart message. All right, now I'm gonna clear this whole chat, right? Not close, just clear messages. All right, and then we're gonna start from scratch. All right, currently, yeah, let's start from scratch and build a whole new chat so that we can build a whole new business plan, everything. All right, so it means inside of my database, I'm gonna leave this business plan. Actually, yeah, let me leave this business plan object, and let me go into the chat session, and then I'm going to delete this chat session. Okay, yes, I'm sure, because I want to start a new chat session from scratch, new information. I'm not even going to talk about dogs this time. I'm going to talk about something else. Let me see, what business have I always wanted to start? I don't know, software development. Yes, let's test on software development. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. It's just I can talk to it. All right, so let's go to our WhatsApp and say hello GPT. Right, so it's gonna chat with us. Hey, welcome to the AI Business Plan Creator. I'm going to take you through the process to create your business plan right here on WhatsApp. Let's get started. Enter your business name. All right, I'm gonna call this business Musebenzi IT Services. Okay, that's the business name. Please select the type of business. I'm gonna just say PTY Ltd. Cool. Which country are you from? South Africa. Coolio. What product or service will your business be providing? Product or service will be web development. Web development services, okay? Describe your business idea in 1 or 2 sentences, okay? We build websites for our clients, including static websites on WordPress, dynamic websites with authentication and a database, and even complex I don't know, custom made web products, web service, websites, web portals. Yeah. All right. That's the business idea. How many years have you in operation? 3. How much traction have you made in your business? We have, you know, we have, we have like clients. We have clients already paying for our services. Okay. We have clients already paying for our services. Great, we have everything we need to build your business plan. So technically, if everything works well, at this stage, after it sends this last message, it will return out of this function, but it will only return after running this create new business plan. All right. All right. Our AI is working on it. Where's our AI working on it? Dish. I think I've made a mistake. Checked.progress. After we save chat.progress, we are over here. This needs to come in the Let me see. So it's saying that our AI is working on it, but I think this needs to come. Yeah, this needs to come in here. This needs to come. Give us a moment. And then we send the WhatsApp message. This needs to come in there, not in there. But it's still, we have everything we need to build your business plan. Actually, you need to enter something here. Enter continue. Enter anything. Enter anything to continue. Then when it comes over here, actually this message, yeah. So let me double check my database. So over here, great, we have everything we need to build your business plan. Enter anything to continue. All right. And then to enter anything to continue, when you enter anything to continue, now progress will be saved, and then it will come over here. And then it will say our AI is working on it. All right. and then it'll send that message. But then after sending that message, it will create the business plan with the chat. All right, and then we should be okay now. All right, but before, let me just double check what was actually saved. So in my let me close that one. Look at my database to see what was actually saved. Chat session. I just want to see if it actually saved the progress. We have clients already paying for us. So progress was already saved. So it went in there, but it didn't create the business plan. No, this is the last business plan. So it didn't run any of that function of creating the business plan. So it didn't run this, create a new business plan. But why? Because it was in the wrong place. So it must create this business plan and then do a chat and then do all of that. All right. So let's push all of these new changes. But now what I'm going to do is that the chat already exists. So if I send anything, it will just come straight here. I'm not going to go through this again, because that's the whole point, is that it remembers everything that you've done. All right. So let's just do that. I'll continue, test. Right, so let's restart this. All right, and then after restarting this, let's go back to our WhatsApp and just enter anything like continue. Right, it'll go through everything, and this time it will go into our AI is working on it. Give us a moment. So it should come into chat progress. Our AI is working on it. All right, give us a moment, and then it should actually work on the function for generating the business plan. So, but then I have no idea if it's gonna work this time. So I'm just gonna give it a moment. Pause this video here. Okay, so we have a bit of an issue here, but the problem is not with the function. I actually ran this separately, and the function works fine. I ran it inside of the shell, and this create new business function chat with the chat works just fine. So I was just running it in here, and then you can see over there I used that chat, and what it did was that it actually, it went and it ran properly. Right, it went and it ran properly, and it generated the link, which I was just opening here and showing you the business plan. I just want to show you this beautiful, this is the IT services. I want to download this document and use it as a business plan. It's amazing. Like, imagine if you could provide this service to people. Don't you think people will pay for it? People want to build a business plan, and all they enter is a few information here and there, and then everything works fine, and then it generates this document for them in PDF. They can download it. You can use this to build a resume. You could just ask people very simple questions. Which school do you go to? And you build them a professional resume. Adding in the details with the AI, having the AI build for you an ideal marketing strategy. I mean, look at that: value proposition, brand messaging, marketing channels, marketing plan. We've built all of these business plans using the AI. I actually want to keep it here. I'm going to use it for my intro to the video, so you can see like the amazing business plans. But there was a bit of a hitch. So what was happening was that because this function takes so long, this function to build a business plan, because of the AI, you saw it took like 2 minutes. Even when I ran it in shell, it took forever. So what I noticed was, because that's running, taking too long to run, and the way the WhatsApp webhook works is that it sort of expects to get a sort of a response code. So if you look at the views over here, once you've run this function, we then send this a response code 200. When WhatsApp doesn't get this response code in a few seconds, it just resends that message again. It resends. So a webhook is like, you need to hook that information and quickly send a response code to say, I have received this information. When WhatsApp doesn't get that response code, it keeps resending the message over and over again. That's why we saw this over here, that it kept sending the message, and every time it sent the message, it ended up here. It ended up inside of our views, somewhere over here, and then the inside of our functions, and then nothing actually happened, and then the message get resent. So the server just got involved processing the message, and you never gave it the AI enough time to actually run the function that we need to run. So what I've decided to do is to run it like, the way JavaScript works and stuff like that, is to run it async mode or in the background. All right. So what we're doing is that I've made a bit of some modifications over here. I haven't tested it to work, but I know my function works because I've tested it in the background, and you can see it generated me the thing, right? But now what I need to do is that I need to where were we? I need to run this thing in the background. So there you see, there it is. I need to run this run in background thread. All right. So, and then I'm going to use executor to do that. All right. And the way to do that, to get that, is that at the top of the file, you can just import, you can say loop is equals to async IO new event loop, but you need to import async IO first. You need to import async IO. And then after importing it, then you get the loop, which is async IO new event loop. You get a new event loop. And then what you do is that you run this function inside of the loop. All right. And this is what you need to enter. You just put in the name of the function, and then any of the, sort of like the, arguments that need to go into the function at the end. And then you return. So immediately this will return. And then after it returns, it will go back to the view function over there. And then inside of the view function, it will send the response code. All right. A success 200, which you can also just have it in here. You can also just have this in here, but it doesn't matter. Even if you had it in there, it will still work. All right. So this is very, very important to send the response code. I haven't tested this yet, so I'm going to test this now. All right. Right, and then I'm gonna just like run this restart. All right, restart this function, and then I'll check in my database to remove that chat, because I need to just remove the chat session. All right, let's see the chat session. Okay, there's a new chat session that was just created for me now. Okay, I can just continue with that one because it doesn't have any information on it. So if you can see over here, there's a new chat session because it kept sending that, that message. So let's start with this new chat function by entering a new business name. Let's use something completely different from what we did before. Let's use Karabo AI. All right. And then what type of a business? It's a PTY Ltd. Which country am I from? Let's try a different country today, Kenya. Right? And this country, by the way, is not an important question. You can even remove it. You can remove this question. I'm providing content. I'm doing an AI content, AI online content generator. Right? AI online content generator. Describe your business in one. Karabo AI is an online content website. Okay. You can create online content like, and by the way, even if you have misspelling, the AI actually like picks it up and it's not a problem. Hey, you can create online content like blogs, marketing, copies, and cold emails using our sophisticated AI tool that is based on OpenAI GPT-3 technology. Okay. That is what this is. How many years have you been in business? I don't know, 2 years. You could put 0 in there, by the way. How much traction have you made in your business? None. No traction. And great, we have everything that we need to build your business plan. Enter anything to continue. Continue. Oh, by the way, let's see here where it says enter anything to continue. Enter anything to continue, because then you need to move from there into the other one. So let's click continue. Our AI is working on it. Give us a moment. We will message you when your business plan is ready. So what I need to test now is that this thing is not going to be sending messages every 5 seconds like the last time, because it's running the other function inside of a loop, which is going to take time. So that's a good thing, because we need to run the other function inside of a loop. Let's just give it a moment. Yay! It took quite a bit. From 12:39 to 12:40, it took about 1 to 2 minutes, but it has generated my business plan. My business plan is now ready. You can just click on it. And there is the name of the company, Karabo AI. It was generated today, the 24th of December. Karabo AI Pty Ltd is a Kenyan online content generating website that has been in operation for 2 years since its founding. The primary product service provided is an AI online content generator based on AI GPT technology. This is technology allows you to create online content like blogs, The company operates the industry where it is many companies provide, The following are suitable business objectives for Karabo AI: develop a large, increase market share, market analysis. Karabo is a web-based, who are the potential customers, freelancers, content marketers, what are buying habits, how large is the target market, how much people. This is like a whole business plan, and we built this from like 5 questions: SWOT analysis, strengths, proprietary technology, experienced team. Obviously, you wouldn't just like print this and give it to an investor. You would like go through it and like check it out and make sure. But I mean, like, for people that are lazy to write, lazy to even go online, we've built them a document and you can like download it. And this is on WhatsApp, right? And you never even went to any website. You just chatted to the AI on WhatsApp, and the AI went and built you a business plan and sent you the link, and you download the document and you're sorted. Of course, the next step would be to enter payment processing. So over here, maybe you would have it in a way that they can view the PDF. Maybe you put it like a picture first, so that they don't like immediately download the document, and you can like show them this is the maybe like very low resolution image, so they can read through it and see that it's really there. And at that point, you say you want to download the PDF. Well, to download the actual PDF, well, you need to now, send us the whatever payment, whatever. You can put a payment link there directly to your Stripe, and boom, they pay, and then you send them the PDF. This is like amazing. I'm going to build this. But yeah, guys, so thank you for watching. This was truly, truly amazing. I enjoyed it. And definitely this is the end of our tutorial. We've built a WhatsApp application that generates a how many page business plan? 4-page business plan, 5-page business plan, from just asking simple questions. And imagine that, imagine just using this use case and expanding multiple use cases and everything that you can do with this. There's just, the possibilities are endless. And yeah, so enjoy your Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody. I think I'll probably see you in the new year, right? And yeah, guys, remember to like the video and everything, and blah, 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 blah. Bye-bye, everybody.